We're here at AirVenture on opening day. I'm Dan Johnson, and I'm talking with an old friend, Tim Bogenhagen of EAA, and we're standing in front of a very cool airplane here. This is a Grand Champion winner, I understand. Is that right?
Last year's Grand Champion light plane, Dan, yeah.
All right.
Down in the fun fly zone, the ultralight area.
What used to be known as the ultralight area now has a new name. Repeat it again for us.
The fun fly zone.
Fun fly zone.
It's
I like
where all
that.
the fun flying takes place.
Absolutely. Well, you and I need no convincing on that. It's a good thing now some other people might realize it too.
Yeah.
Tim, we're standing in front of a pretty airplane here, but it's not the only one. In fact, there's quite a collection here as I look beyond the camera. 17, it appears. What are we standing in? Why are we all here?
Well, we're in the Sport Pilot and Light-Sport aircraft display 10th anniversary celebration.
Ah, okay.
10 years after the Sport Pilot and Light-Sport aircraft rules were first issued. And EAA wanted to highlight and celebrate that and make people aware of the great opportunities that Sport Pilot and Light-Sport aircraft created, all the neat things that have been accomplished, and say, hey, this is a good opportunity to get into flying into the future. So we got a display here right across from the main EAA Welcome Center.
You got quite a collection of airplanes here in a wonderful premium location. We're standing in front of the Challenger, but I see LSA, I see some vintage airplanes, I see, well, tell us what all we've got here, Tim.
Well, we got a good mix of Sport Pilot eligible aircraft in the Sport Pilot and Light-Sport aircraft display.
That's a great way to put it, Sport Pilot eligible, a term I associate with one of your former compatriots, Ron Wagner.
Yeah.
As far as I know, coined that phrase, and what that means is it doesn't have to be a light sport. This is not a light sport. This is an experimental amateur built, but a Sport Pilot certificated pilot can fly it.
Exactly.
And that's what you're referring to. In fact, you've got an air coupe back here, which was a manufactured airplane from many years ago.
Yeah, we got a nice collection. Air coupe back there, which is Sport Pilot eligible. We got weight shift trike coming. We got powered parachute, auto gyro, some factory builds, some amateur builds. We got a nice Sonics over there, which is a nice amateur built aircraft that is Sport Pilot eligible. So being in this location, EAA wanted to say, hey, Sport Pilot Light-Sport aircraft, it's a great thing. We've accomplished some things and we want to highlight that. Also, it's still a great opportunity for somebody to get into flying. So we want to remind people
it's
that,
kind of the entry point for a lot of people.
It's a good entry point. Yeah, I was just talking to Jack Vandeveter, who's one of our volunteers here, who works for a flight school down in Indiana. And, you know, they have 2 Skycatchers down there, and they're teaching a lot of Sport Pilots.
Is that right?
They're staying busy, and people are averaging about 30 hours to get their Sport Pilot certificate.
Yeah, think about that. Isn't the national average for private something like 60 or 70 hours?
That's what I hear.
Some number like that. So, and a more expensive airplane to do it in. So it's twice the price or more.
Twice the price. He said what they're finding, though, is those people start with Sport Pilot, use it as an entry, and then they do go on to get a private. And he said they're finding they're saving about $1,000.
Is that right? Even when they go to private?
When they get their private taken care of.
Well, that's a great bit of news, and I hadn't heard that particular fact from anyone before. But so, half the price or thereabouts to get, depending on exactly what you're doing and what aircraft and so on. Aircraft that are available for much lower prices. Some are getting up there pretty good in price, but they're still a lot less than comparable aircraft when you consider the equipment in them.
Well, it depends upon what you want.
And
if you want to buy a brand new factory-built aircraft, you'll pay good money for it.
Well, if it's loaded up, especially, right.
If you want to buy a kit plane like a Challenger, you'll buy the kit and put it together and fly it as a Sport Pilot, and you'll have 20,000 into it. If you do want a nice factory-built, ready-to-fly one, yeah, they cost a lot more. So the neat thing about Sport Pilot is it's what do you want?
Choice.
What you have so many choices. Right. What entry do you want to get into it? How much do you want to spend? And you can spend little or a lot. And so you got choices. You get to pick.
That's great stuff. Tim, I want to talk about you just for a couple of minutes. You're kind of the man for EAA behind this space, but you also are very busy with what we now know as the Fun Fly Zone. And what do you do for EAA when the show's not going on?
Well, I'm always the ultralight and light plane community manager. So I always work with the Ultralight and Light Sport Aircraft Council to make sure that EAA is providing services and programs meaningful and supportive to people who fly ultralights, light planes, and light sport aircraft. I also do something that's called Member Product Specialist, which means I coordinate webinars for EAA.
Ah, okay.
We hold weekly webinars, which are basically forum presentations over the internet, where we average...
Where anybody, anywhere can attend these
Anyone
things.
can attend. We average 300 attendees every week
right?
for that.
Wow, excellent.
And then I also coordinate the Hints for Home Builders video series. So I'm involved in a lot of other things.
You keep pretty busy here, and
Yeah.
well, this week keeps you really, really busy. An impressive amount of stuff here, but I can't imagine too many of our watchers are not EAA members, but if you're not, well, fix that. And for those of you that haven't even heard of EAA, you know a lot more now, and you know somebody to go talk to. It's a great organization. Give us the web address. It's easy to do, I know, but give it to us anyway. We'll put it up on screen.
www.eaa.org.
There you go. Can't be much simpler than that. That's only 9 letters, if I count them. Thanks a lot for talking to us today. Tim Bogenhagen from EAA. I'm Dan Johnson with ByDanJohnson.com, where you can find lots more about this category of airplanes and the immense range that Tim was telling us about. Thanks for joining us here at AirVenture.
Thank you very much, Dan.